and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Evelyn and I'm a knitter, reader, among other things, who likes to share some of what I've worked on here on this channel. So welcome. So I know it's been a while. I've been very busy with schoolwork, but that means that because it's been a while, I've gotten quite a lot of things done in the knitting crochet world. So let's jump right in. First of all, I have two finishes. One that is even a new start that I actually finished, but the older one are the I'm So Basic socks by Summer Lee. And I did these in Bobolink yarn settlement sock. Don't think I kept the label, but here are the socks. This is a very pretty yarn in this kind of black and rainbow colors. I do not have the colorway. It was not on the label and I didn't document it. So, sorry. But I finished these pretty quickly in like 2 days or something. I had to basically do half of one of the socks because I decided that I couldn't cast on anything new until I finished something, because I had like 6 projects going. That was too much for me. So, and I had gotten new yarn, which I'll talk about later. So I decided that I had to finish something, and this was the closest project to being finished. So I did, I succeeded, yay, finishing the socks. The other finish that I have is this hat that I started and finished. This is the Mega Spun Beanie by Berg in Malabrigo Rasta in the colorway Aniversario. It's a beautiful squishy yarn, and it's this nice pattern with this spun pattern of twisted stitches that I kind of messed up. I got about halfway through the hat. I was ready to do the decreases when I watched a video on how to do this twisted stitch. Don't do it after you've started the hat. Really, that's not the best idea. So I had to rip out the entire thing and recast on and actually do it correctly, because it looked fine, but I wanted to I didn't want to start halfway through doing it correctly and have it end up doing something weird. So I just decided to rip it out and start over. But other than that, it was a really fun knit. It was not too challenging for me because there's a lot of just stockinette in here. And I was able to do it while watching things, which was really nice. I can try it on and show you what it looks like on. It's a little tight, but I think I haven't blocked it yet, so I think it'll loosen up some. But it's very cute. And this is actually one that I'm doing and my mom is doing as well. So that's very nice. We'll have matching hats. I think that's it for the finishes. It's just 2 finishes, but I think I've done a lot in the past time. I've also cast on a new start. That was yarn that I bought for the hat also recently, and so was this. This is, make sure I don't lose my gauge counter, row counter, whatever it's called. This is the Walk in the Woods shawl by, trying to read, Maliha Designs. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but here's my start on it. I've gotten a decent way. And this is done in the Malabrigo Rios in the colorway Diana. And then it will eventually, here's the label, if I can get it to sit correctly. Here's the label. It will be a mosaic color work shawl, so it will have this other color. This is teal feather in it as well. Those 2 colors, I have another skein of the Diana. Those 2 colors are going to make the shawl. So I think that'll look very pretty. and I love this yarn. I made a blanket in it, like in the fall, crocheted, and I love this yarn so much. It's so squishy and soft. And this will be my first time trying the mosaic knitting, so wish me luck. But I think it looks very pretty, and I can't wait to start. I think it's supposed to be easier than other color work, so it should be a good introduction. I'm finding that I really like the way color work patterns look, and I just want to make them. I'm getting bored of just the plain one color patterns, or even striped. So yeah, I just want to try the color work now. The other cool thing about this pattern is this edge. Actually both edges, but mostly this one is like, it's almost like an I-cord edge. I don't know if that's what it actually is, but it's very cool, and I love the way that you can look at the other edge too, that it finishes the shawl. I think it'll be really cool as it grows. So it's a fun shawl to work on. And so far I've just, as you can see, just done the one color section. I'm like, I don't know, almost done with that, I think. But it's going pretty well so far. So hopefully the rest of the shawl will go like that too. That is my new start. Oh, the other thing about that pattern is that it comes in a completely charted and a completely written out version of the pattern, which I really like because I've tried to read charts before and I just have trouble. I want to get better at it because I know it'll open up a whole world of new patterns that I can use, but I like to have the backup of having the written too in case I read something wrong or need to double check the way I read it, which is nice that it has both. So now moving on to my WIPs, my works in progress. They are just continuing from the last time, but I will show them again. This is the Crackling Fire Wrap by Marie Green in BC Garn Bio Balance, colored 024 Passionflower. If I can get it unstuck from my pencil. So that's the right side. This is the shawl. As you can see, it's grown quite a bit. It still has quite a bit to go, but it is going nicely. Let's get close up so you can see the texture. And here's the yarn. It's this beautiful purple color. So I'm trying to finish it because I also am just getting excited by other projects and want to start new things, but I have so many WIPs going. There's the label for the yarn and back. But it is fun to work on. I guess I'm just getting tired of the same pattern, I think, but I'm trying to finish it. And I only have one ball of yarn left, so it can get there, I can get there. The other work in the WIP that I have, sorry for all the noise of getting the bags, they're a bit crinkly, is the Ash Pullover by Katy Petersen in We Crochet City Tweed Aran. Oh, it's getting quite heavy. That's kind of nice. I want it to be a heavy sweater. Here it is. You can see it's grown some down the body. And I did try this on and it fits quite nicely. In my opinion, I like a tighter sweater because I like a vintage. I want to wear this over skirts and I think it'll look nice like that. So that's exciting. It's fun to work on. Currently it's just a herringbone double crochet all the way around. So pretty easy to work on. And here is, I have a label for the yarn on the balls that I haven't used yet. So that is going well. I am looking forward to wearing it very much. I think it'll be very pretty, and I can't wait to see how the sleeves work and stuff like that. Now, one thing about this pattern is it does have a striped pattern around the yoke that I did not do. I decided that I just wanted the plain solid color, So I just ignored the stripe pattern and just continued. I think it has instructions for how to do that. I'm pretty sure it does, or I just ignored when it said to switch colors. One or the other. So, yeah. I made my own little modification there. On to some acquisitions. I have gotten a lot of new stuff in the past month or so. Starting off, with some spinning fiber. I got fiber from Eclectic Acres on Etsy. Where is it? Oh, it's in here. That I completed spinning with this drop spindle that I got from them as well. It's a very nice wood drop spindle. And I did the entire like hank of roving that I got, and I spun it up into little balls. Here's one ball that I made. I made like 3 that size, which is very nice. But it does take some work. This was my first experience spinning. And I watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to spin. And I certainly need to get thinner. I have like a lot of very thick areas in it. And I think I have some over twist in it and things like that. So I need to get more practice. And I want to be able to ply it without getting like super chunky wool, yarn. So I did, need to figure out how to get it thinner. And I finally figured out how to actually draft it. It took me the entire thing of fiber to figure out how to draft it properly, but I got there. So that's good. So now when I do the next one, I will figure it out, which, speaking of, I did get more spinning fiber, which you can see here. This is from the Woolery, both of it. This is in, it's a blue flace luster, I forget the color, it's like wisteria, I think is the color. Yeah, it's a blue flace luster top in the color of wisteria, which was just too pretty to pass up. I love this kind of purpley, pinky color with like speckles. So, but I've also got this one, which is Rosie's multicolor merino top in the color Party Time. I have not opened these yet and started to spin them, but I am excited to do so. As I said, I've been very busy, but those are exciting. And then I got some new yarn with my mom. My parents came up for a family weekend here, and we went to a local yarn store for local yarn store day, and I got a bunch of yarn, including the stuff for the hat and the new shawl that I started, which I showed, and I got some more Malabrigo. This is the Malabrigo sock in the colors Ursula. Show it correctly. And Plomo, which is a fingering weight, both of these are, that I'm looking forward to making a shawl with. I have plans to make the, what's it called? Road Trip Shawl by Marie Tobita, or Mari Tobita, which is a big mosaic shawl. So I wanted to do a shawl that was a little easier on the mosaic before I jumped in with these. I think they'll be contrasted enough. I'm not sure, but we'll see. I love this purple. I love that. So if I'll definitely make something out of it. The other thing that I got was this Juniper Moon Farm Cumulus, and I don't know the color. It's in Sahara Nights, color 406, which is this very, very soft cotton. That is very nice. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this yet. Probably just like a scarf, that's what it's called, or something, but I'm looking forward to using it. It is a medium weight, so yeah, that'll be exciting to work on too. That is all of my knitting and crochet, my artsy stuff for this time, but let's move into reading, listening, watching, those areas. So for reading, I am reading The Gilded Hour by Sarah Donati, or Donati, I'm not sure, which I did read 2 years ago when at the beginning of the pandemic, when our library was giving out these like bags of books where you would give them like some books that you enjoyed, what kinds of books you like to read, and they'd select 6 books for you that you could read and then return. And this was one of the books that I got, and I really enjoyed it and have been looking for it again. And I finally figured out the title. Took me a long time, but I figured it out, and then I got it at our local library here at school. Not the school library, but like the one in town. And I'm excited to start it again. I'm not very far into it, but I haven't had a lot of time to read. So if I don't finish it before I go home, then I'll just get it at somewhere else and read it somehow else. But that's nice. And there's the sequel to, which I am looking forward to reading. I really like. It's a historical fiction, which I tend to really like, and it's about feminism and female doctors and that kind of thing, which is right up my alley. So listening wise, I have discovered the podcast Cast On, a knitting podcast, which I've been enjoying. It's very calming, soothing, and just listening to things about knitting inspires me to do more knitting, which is great. I like to be entirely in like a world of like, if I'm really into something, I like to focus on it. So having something to listen to about knitting while I'm knitting is ideal. And then I'm also listening to the podcast Suspect, which is a true crime podcast. It's a very short one, but it reminds me a bit of the podcast Serial, which was really popular, and I did listen to. But I'm enjoying this new one, Suspect. And I find it intriguing. I tend to like true crime type things, but I have trouble finding the right podcasts and stuff to listen to. So that one I'm enjoying. And I'm finding other podcasts that sound very interesting on the network that it's on. So I'm looking forward to checking out some of those. I am listening to a book this time. Yay! Very exciting to listen to a book again. I've been trying to, before I go to sleep, listen to a book, which just helps me relax a little bit. I've been listening to A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas, which I read in January. Don't get me wrong, I had read it before. But I felt like I read it really fast and kind of needed to go back and reread it because I missed some things and I didn't absorb much of stuff. So I wanted to re-listen to it, and when I listen, I find I paid better attention. So I wanted to get more enjoyment out of the book. Watching, I am watching Bones Season 10, so I've jumped ahead 2 seasons since the last time I recorded, but I'm at the very beginning of Season 10, and I'm listening to the Bones Booth podcast. I figured I'd talk about this in the watching segment, because it relates, but I'm enjoying that. It's also a very fun podcast and funny to listen to. And I'm way ahead, if you notice. I don't know how many people are watching or listening to both, but they are on Season 4, and I'm on Season 10 of Bones, so I'm way ahead, and I find that I forget what happened in each episode. So it's kind of nice that their recap is very good to get me reacclimated to what is happening. It's almost like I'm watching the episode again, which is nice. Yeah, and then I'm watching Criminal Minds Season 8, just kind of plugging along there, and listening to the Unknown Subject podcast. But when I was listening to that podcast, I heard one of the hosts talking about how they had been enjoying or watching the documentary The Staircase, which I have never watched. I have not watched much true crime stuff, but I find it very interesting, so I want to watch more, but I don't know which ones I enjoy. So it feels like a lot to get into. But because one of the hosts said that they enjoyed it, I wanted to watch it. And so I started watching The Staircase. It's very interesting. I'm enjoying it, but it's a lot, it's intense, but I find it interesting. I like true crime documentaries and things like that and podcasts, but I do find them a little intense and there's just so much media out there that I find it a little hard to start. I did read, I think it was on my shelf last time, I think, maybe. I read, what's it called? All Be Gone in the Dark, about the Golden State Killer, which I very much enjoyed watching, or reading, sorry, it's not a thing to watch. I think it is actually, but I read it. I read that for class actually, to do a paper on, and I think I listened to most of it, but it was very good. I find that stuff interesting. I know it's not for everyone, but it is for me. So that is everything I have this time. I hope you've enjoyed catching up with me a little bit and seeing what I've been consuming and doing these past few weeks. I'm hoping to get some more sewing done soon. I'll be going home soon because our term ends, and I hope to do some sewing at home, so I'll update you on that next time. And yeah, so thank you for watching.